You're listening to a New York Jets episode of the Jacob Valk Show. He's breaking down the team's latest goings-on as only he can. Follow him on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Here he is, Jacob Valk.
Hello, Jets fans! Welcome to another New York Jets episode of the Jacob Valk Show. I am the Jacob Valk, and you're not. Usually I record these shows right after the game is over, but I couldn't do that for this game because I was there. I was excited to be there. The first Jets game that fans were allowed in the stands since the pandemic started. The first home game of the Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson era. This is going to be great. I'm excited to be here. You know, I felt bad that you wouldn't get my raw, visceral reaction to the game, but c'est la vie. I can promise you, I'm still hot. I am still beyond frustrated by what I saw. It's one thing to lose. Even though I did pick the Jets in my pool, it wouldn't have stunned me if the Jets lost. It's another thing if you were to tell me that Zach Wilson would have a bad game. Yeah, Bill Belichick does that to rookie quarterbacks. Makes you wonder why I picked the Jets. I thought it would be different. Yeah, I was probably drinking the Kool-Aid too much. Hindsight's 20/20. That performance yesterday was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a Jets quarterback. I don't care if it's your second NFL start and you're going up against a Bill Belichick team. You've got to do better than that. You've got to do better than having your first two passes be intercepted. You've got to do better than having 4 completions at the same time that you have 4 interceptions. You remember the Seeing Ghosts game? Also against the Patriots on Monday Night Football? This game wasn't as bad, but let me tell you, it was up there. At the end of the day, this loss was all on Zach Wilson. The defense did enough to win. The running game was really good. Michael Carter, Ty Johnson, and Tevin Coleman all averaged at least 4 yards a carry. The offensive line, I thought, was really good. You'll see in the box score that Wilson was sacked 4 times. The thing is, though, 2 of those sacks came on the last drive of the game, when it was clear as day that the Jets were out of it, and 99% of the people there were heading for the exits. It's tough for me to read too much into those 2 sacks. So, all in all, a quarterback getting sacked just twice when you allowed 3 running backs to average over 4 yards a carry, hey, I'll take it. And the defense to only give up 25 points when your quarterback was not helping you out, you didn't have a lot of time on the sidelines to recover. I thought they played well. They had a terrible play on the Damian Harris rushing touchdown. They missed about 6 tackles. I totally get that, but for the most part, I thought the defense was really good. At the end of the day, Mac Jones didn't throw a touchdown, and he threw for under 200 yards. I'll say this, he did not impress me. He's doing what the Patriots are asking. They're not asking him to go crazy. They're asking him to be conservative. But it's just dink and dunk and dink and dunk and dink and dunk. That's all this guy is going to do in the NFL. It's not going to be exciting football. I don't think this guy is going to give you much playoff success. I'm not even talking Brady-level success, because no one will ever do that again. Maybe Patrick Mahomes. Maybe. But I can promise you that Mac Jones isn't going to come anywhere close to that. So let's look at the 4 interceptions. The first one, Wilson just got locked onto Corey Davis. He didn't work through his progressions. I don't know why he tried to fit it in there, but he did. It was a terrible play. You cannot make that throw. That's inexcusable. The second pick, in all fairness to Wilson, that went right through Davis's hands. Yes, the throw was a little high, but you are an NFL wide receiver. You're being paid to be the number 1 receiver on this team. That's a catch you need to make. You can't let it go through your hands. Should Wilson have placed that ball better? The answer is yes. But it was more on Davis. It was like 95% on Davis. I feel like that played into the lackluster game that Davis had. He was only targeted 5 times. He finished the game with just 2 catches for 8 yards. Ryan Griffin had more receiving yards than him. You know who the Jets' best receiver was yesterday? Braxton Berrios. If Braxton Berrios is your best receiver, you're not going to do much on offense. The third pick was a really bad decision by Wilson. He tried to squeeze it into Elijah Moore. J.C. Jackson made a good play on the ball. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He had 2 picks on the day, but that's a throw that Wilson can't make. I mean, it got to the point where I tweeted out, do you bench him? Do you bench Zach Wilson? It'd be interesting if the Jets had a backup quarterback like Jacoby Brissett or Case Keenum or CJ Beathard, a top-tier backup quarterback, if they would have benched Wilson, or if they would have let him work through these mistakes. I mean, you knew that Wilson would have days like this. You knew he'd have games where he looked like a rookie. You knew he'd have games where he looked terrible. But to throw 3 interceptions in the first half is just inexcusable. The 4th pick was on 2nd and 28. Wilson just launched a prayer up. It didn't land anywhere close to a jet. It looked like he was aiming it for Devin McCourty. But in all fairness, it's 2nd and 28. He was launching a prayer. It wasn't answered. It's tough to get on Wilson for that. It was a terribly thrown ball. But I didn't like the play call. You've got a quarterback who's struggling, who's thrown 3 interceptions already. Why wouldn't you give him a safe play on 2nd and long? Why wouldn't you give him a screen? Overall, though, I thought that the play calling was good. I thought the coaching was good. At the end of the day, the seminal reason that the Jets lost this game was because of the anemic play of Zach Wilson. Now, if you look ahead to next week, the Jets are going to Denver. The Broncos are playing really good football right now. Look at what they just did to Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence completed 14 of his 33 passes for 118 yards and a touchdown, but he also threw 2 interceptions. What's Zach Wilson gonna do? For right now, it's not looking good, Jets fans. There's no question about that. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I thought the defense played well in both games. The running game looked much better yesterday than it did against the Panthers. Same thing with the offensive line. The play calling was better. And the thing with Wilson is, a lot of what caused those picks is fixable. The first pick was just a terrible play by Zach Wilson that no NFL quarterback should make. Okay? That's inexcusable. The second pick was just him being too aggressive. That's the same thing with the third pick and the same thing with the fourth pick. It's very easy to teach a quarterback, now that he's had this incredibly harsh lesson, to be a little more careful with the football. I thought Robert Saleh had a great quote in his press conference. It's okay to be boring. If nothing is there deep, check it down. Live to fight another day. Part of being a great NFL quarterback is knowing when not to force it and when to take those shots. At the end of the day, Zach Wilson needs to learn that this isn't BYU. He can't just get by on his God-given arm talent. He needs to be smart. He needs to make better decisions. Sometimes you need to take what the defense is giving you. If there's nothing open downfield, don't try to cram it into an incredibly small window. Take the check down. Try to run for it yourself. Again, live to fight another day. The second interception, Wilson had Elijah Moore open in the flat. It's an easy throw. It's a throw that gives him some confidence. Okay, I've got to have a short memory. Let's get back into the swing of things. The game's not over yet. It's just the first quarter. I mean, realize you're only down 3-0. Yeah, you threw a bad pick, but dust yourself off and drive your team down the field to take the lead. The game wasn't over after the first pick. After the second pick, though, you got the sense that this wasn't the Jets' day. But if you could have completed that pass to Moore, gain a little bit of positive yardage, maybe you get some momentum going, and you're right back into this game. No one remembers the interception. By trying to force it to Davis, you really put your team behind the 8 ball. Yes, that pick was more on Davis letting that ball go through his hands. But in all fairness to Davis, it was a ball that never should have been thrown. Once it's thrown, you've got to make a play on it. But I'll give Corey Davis the benefit of the doubt. He's watching this play develop. No way is he thinking that this ball is going to him. Then he sees the ball come to him. It's like, oh man, I need to get my hands up. And by the time he realized what was happening, it's picked off. Just take the easy throw. That play is designed for you to get the ball to Elijah Moore and get some positive yardage. You wouldn't have gotten much, but maybe it can be the start of something. By forcing it and throwing your second pick on your second pass of the game, every Jets fan watching knew that it was going to be a long, long game. This doesn't sour me on Wilson by any stretch. I still think he's the real deal. Again, these are issues that are correctable. And what's the best way of learning something? It's making a mistake. Now that he's had this game, he needs to be able to say to himself, okay, this is what I did that was wrong. This is what I can do to fix it. Let's make it so we're not thinking about this anymore. Let's go to Denver and win this game. There's a saying. The best thing the rookie quarterbacks do is become second-year quarterbacks. Zach Wilson is going to have games where he looks bad. Just like Trevor Lawrence is having games where he's not looking great. Just like Justin Fields came in relief of Andy Dalton and didn't look great. Just like Mac Jones hasn't set the world on fire. The key for Wilson is going to be rebounding from this. Does he have the mental strength necessary to realize what went wrong and to correct those mistakes so that it doesn't happen again? Hopefully he does, but ultimately we'll end up finding out on Sunday at 4:05 in Denver. You'll get a New York Jets instant recap right after that game. Regular episodes of the Jacob Valk Show come your way every weekday afternoon. New York Yankees Show comes your way Monday night. Oh my Lanta, there's a lot I want to say about this team. Until next time, I'm Jacob Valk. And always remember, if you disagree with me, you're wrong.